I suppose I should start this story off of how we found her. I was in the Snark with one of my friends, Wyatt, and we had to duck in this canal because it started raining and blowing really hard. We actually had to run the ship aground and get out.
We're shipwrecked in a gated community.
Yeah, that happened. Well, anyway, as you saw earlier, that was I saw it for sale, so I ended up calling him later. And anyway, this is Joe and his friend. We're in Joe's boat getting there, and the day we decided to go get her was particularly rainy and really windy, which was a lot like the day that I saw her at first place, so I guess it was fated to be that way. Anyway, so he was kind enough to let me use his boat, and his friend came along, which was nice because he ended up helping us, and it was just nice having a third person there. When we were docking her, it was a nightmare. But there she is, looking particularly ratty. But she's mine now. So we tethered her to his boat, and I had researched how you're supposed to tether boats to each other, and the way we did it was not that way. It was just kind of I was being dragged along behind, which ended up kind of being a bad idea in the end. But we took her down the canal instead of going out through the Banana River itself because it was much more calm and less choppy and less windy in the canal. So it started off pretty easy, pretty simple. Oh, and yeah, here's a picture of me. I was really happy because I had just signed the title. I felt like a real, boat owner and a real captain. And even though my ship was very unseaworthy at the moment, I was still really proud of her. Yeah, the rudder. I remember the rudder being particularly scary because one of the big nuts was loose, and while I was trying to, guide her along, it was just rattling in my hand, and I was like, man, if this goes out, then we're all in trouble. But it turned out we ended up making it. Here's the bridge we ran across in the canal, and usually you can call the bridge master on the VHF radio, but the bridge master wasn't responding, so we had to turn back around, go back through the canal again, and then back out into the Banana River, where it was much windier, much choppier. And I believe it was about at this time that I thought, like, maybe the winch at the front, the hitch that is on the front of my boat, like maybe that's not entirely secured as well as it should be, and it might, be jerked out by the boat, because we were hitting some pretty big swells, I remember. But in the end, it ended up doing its job and carrying us all the way home. Although I probably don't think I'll ever do that again, and hopefully I won't have to. Yeah, here's us when we finally got into our canal. As you can see, it's much calmer and much nicer. And I thought we were home free and safe by this time, but trying to dock was really bad because Joe stopped first, and then I almost ran into him while he was trying to tie his boat to the dock. It was a nightmare. But here we finally got her in without any damage or any persons lost. So we ended up getting it home okay. She was really dirty and was filled with water and had a few obvious problems, but she was mine, and no one could say anything against that. So yeah, let's get to cleaning and see what we can find.